That's Big Papa Grump.
And this is Junior.
And that was SummerSlam.
Yuck.
Alright, starting with the first kickoff show match, which was the Miz Taraj versus the Hardys and Baby Angle. I actually did not see this match because I just got home from work, so I was getting cleaned up. You?
Actually, same. I just got home too, but I didn't pay attention because it sucked. So, yeah. Yeah, Miz Taraj won. Cool.
Apparently it was boring.
Move on. Up next is the Cruiserweight Championship match between the King of the Cruiserweights, Neville, and the defending champion, Akira Tozawa. And this was the first title change of the evening out of, like, the 26. Neville beat Tozawa actually pretty clean. It was a pretty good match back and forth, and he hit him with the red arrow instead of missing, so he won.
And he wore white.
And he wore white.
I also missed that match, so...
So he is a two-time champion today. He won the Rocket League, and he won the Cruiserweight belt. Good job, Neville.
Then we get to the final match on the pre-show, which was the SmackDown Live Tag Team Championship match between the New Day and the Usos. Usos picking up the win. I didn't think they would. That match set the bar. That was a good match. That you can argue there were a couple of match of the night contenders on this one because there were actually some really good matches throughout the night. But that was a really good match.
Yeah. The Usos and New Day do it again. I mean, this is becoming a pattern, which is good. They've been wrestling for probably like 6 years now, like against each other. Not all at the same time, but you know, the Usos have beat the New Day. The New Day, I believe, won their first titles from the Usos, so they have chemistry, and it shows. And it was a really good match, and it definitely was a show stealer early. Yeah,
it was way above solid. It was a really good match. It was very enjoyable. The false finishes were great. Yeah, it was like I said earlier, it set the bar.
That brings us to the first buried person of the evening, Cena versus Corbin. Low. Next.
Yeah, Vince McMahon hates it when you get owned on Twitter, so there you go. And we move on to the SmackDown Live Women's Championship match between Naomi and Natalya. Natalya with a much-deserved win, even though I didn't think she was going to pick it up. Very happy that Natty got it. And that one was way better than I thought it was going to be. I mean, I knew both performers could go, but yeah, it was that one. It didn't quite live up to the match of the night level that the New Day Usos. But it was close. So SmackDown was kind of moving along there. They had a little trip up with the Corbin Cena match, but then they got it back with the Natty Naomi match. So they were having a pretty good night. It was a lot. Again, yet another title change. Yeah.
There's not much more to say. It was a really good match. I knew these guys would be good because they're good in-ring competitors and they work really well with people they haven't really worked with before. I mean, Lana and Naomi, like it wasn't the best, but I mean you can see that Naomi tried. Yeah, Natty finally gets her, I believe, her second title, which is good. She's kind of been waiting like 46 years for another one, so, you know, good on you, kid. And that brings us to Jaws 3. Shark Cage. Big Cass won, you know, no big deal. Like,
boring.
Obviously that was going to happen because he didn't have the KO punch. He hit one, was like, ow, pinned him, was like, no. Choke slammed him, was like, ow. Pinned him, no. Empire boot, lubed himself. Enzo lubed himself out of the
That was by far the best part of the match. It's like, oh yeah, everybody just carries around, you know, a bottle of like grease in their pocket.
And he's just like sneaking out, and then he finally drops down and gets Empire booted. So it's like, oh, okay, good job, Enzo. You suck at life.
All right, second candidate for the Golden Shovel Award of the night was Rusev. Getting completely owned by Randy Orton in like 8 seconds. It was horrendous.
It was great.
The beat down ahead of time was like fantastic, and then the match started.
And he RKO'd him.
RKO out of nowhere. It was out of exactly where we thought it was going to be, though.
He just RKO'd him, stared at him for like 4 seconds, which made the match a lot longer than it should have been, and then pinned him.
By Christmas, Rusev will be ROH champion.
So, the 4 horsewomen. The 4th title change. Sasha Banks' 4th title reign that she's just going to lose on Raw.
Forza Wild. Yeah, she still has no successful title defenses yet, so there's hope for you, Bliss.
But unfortunately, this was the Raw Women's Championship match. And of course, Sasha Banks. And there's nothing to say. This was terrible. It was a good match, but
Yeah, it was actually a fun match. I wasn't a fan of the finish. I not so much that Bliss lost. I mean, yeah, I was rooting for Alexa Bliss, but more it didn't. It wasn't as exciting. Usually Sasha into the bank statement stuff is a lot more exciting and whatnot. This one was just kind of like, here we go again, and tap. It was just kind of a blah.
with a hurt shoulder.
Yeah. So, and we get to the Demon Finn Balor against the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt, and Finn Balor is 2-0 at SummerSlam, 2-0 on the main roster as the Demon, and undefeated since joining the company as the Demon, and fun.
Demon.
We pretty much all called for Balor to win this one, and it was a good match. This one was a solid match. This was a lot of fun. There was a lot of back and forth. I do like aggressive Demon Finn Balor in the ring much better than not aggressive Demon Finn Balor, but Balor and Wyatt really I think they found their chemistry. It was a lot better match than their Raw match was or any of their other encounters had been. And they toned down the spookiness of it. It was just kind of it came across more like mind games, which I think was a lot smarter.
And the fact that Balor did his where he just randomly stands up when Bray was doing his spider crawl was pretty cool because Bray was like, I've never seen this before. What happens now? Coup de grace, by the way.
Yeah.
That's the answer to that question.
Yeah. So it was that was one of the it was the right booking decision, even though it sucks that Bray keeps losing on pay-per-views. It's terrible, but
he's 0-6 at SummerSlam, 0-12 at WrestleMania.
They need to fix Bray soon.
That brings us to Mr. Pyromaniac and the Lunatic versus the Kilts, Cesaro, whatever we want to refer to them anymore. The Raw Tag Team Championship match, where the won the Tag Team Championships, which is nice, and they didn't have any moments. I mean, they pointed out Dean made a rookie mistake by distracting the ref, and he just let Seth get beat up. Whatever. It's like normal tag stuff. Look at the New Day. Xavier Woods just gets beat up, and then Big E wins. You know what I mean? That's a team. So it was really cool, and I do dig the title change. I don't know why there were so many of them, but they deserve it. And this is Dean's I forget what it's called.
Yeah, he hit the Grand Slam.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, Intercontinental, U.S., World, and Tag. So.
And this is his first tag team, Seth's second, and both times they were part of the Shield when Seth got his. So let's go.
United States Championship match between AJ Styles and Kevin Owens with Shane McMahon as special guest referee. AJ Styles picks up the win.
Woo!
And you could tell they're building towards some sort of clash between Owens and McMahon, but it was a solid match. It was a lot of nice false finishes. It was nice to see AJ actually win with a Styles Clash for once. It's been a while.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Should have won with a 450.
Yeah. Oh, he did the 450 and he killed 2 people. So, there you go.
There you go. Yeah, it was a good match. I think it was a lot better than their previous pay-per-view one.
They had energy this time.
Yeah.
The hostility was there and it came through. And the, it was a spot fest, but it was a well laid out spot fest. So that was pretty cool.
Up next is the WWE Championship between the Battle of the Announce Tables. Because Mahal won in the exact same way that Mahal always wins, which is really boring, getting on my nerves. I can understand not putting on Shinsuke yet, but still, it's the exact same finish in the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Yeah, basically, from the moment he won the championship till now, he has won pretty much every match, with the exception of Corbin, the exact same way. Where it's the Singh brothers do whatever they do, or the Great Khali, some sort of outside interference. And while, yes, he's a heel, and yes, he's a cheaty heel, It's as opposed to the Usos, which are just smart heels. He's a cheaty heel. It's it's not working anymore. Something's got to give.
Look at Rollins' first title run.
Yeah.
It's almost the same thing, although Rollins had actual wins.
And the crowd was actually believing in him as a top guy, where the crowd is not behind Mahal as a top guy.
They're chanting 3MB at him during the match.
That was pretty funny. By the way, though, the match itself was actually good. Like, it was solid. Shinsuke was kind of carrying the action and carrying the emotion, and that crowd was fully behind Shinsuke. And right there, that should show Vince exactly who the title should have been put on in this instance. But that's really my only major booking issue gripe aside from the Rusev bit. You know, I understood Corbin, but and Rusev, I don't know what he did to piss off Vince, but
married Lana.
I guess he's still being yelled at for that, or he cut his hair.
Yeah,
But,
actually, that might be it.
Yeah, so.
All joking aside, he might, because he was really mad about that.
But I think that he's still gonna try to ride this gender thing out a little bit longer. Maybe he's trying to use a win over Shinsuke as a signature win, a big win. But when you keep having the Bollywood boys interfere, it does nothing to help Mahal at all.
His signature win should be winning the title over Orton and then successfully defending over Orton. That should have built him, but he never legitimately beat Orton.
Yeah,
and the one time that there was a legitimate finish in an Orton Jinder match, Orton won.
And last but not least, it is the Fatal 4-Way match for the Universal Championship between Brock Lesnar, Braun Strowman, Samoa Joe, and Roman Reigns. Brock Lesnar picks up the win, which I thought he would, mostly because he's being advertised going forward, so he's supposed to be No Mercy and all that. And but I think, again, this match was a lot better than I think people were going to give it credit for going into it. Everybody looked good. Braun Strowman hates tables.
And Brock Lesnar?
Yeah. Okay. Table plus Brock Lesnar equals Braun Strowman putting somebody through it. And it's, it was fun. I mean, Roman looked pretty good in the match. You know, all the Roman haters out there can Roman hate all you want, but he was selling and doing everything that he needed to do. Braun Strowman looked like a beast. Samoa Joe looked smart and opportunistic and all that. And Brock Lesnar came across like the valiant babyface in all of this, and it was kind of weird. I didn't like the fact that Samoa Joe didn't kick out of that F5, because it's like, come on, everybody else has. So.
Yeah. It was really nice. There was really good. There's spots, because Fatal 4-Ways are usually that, especially if they're not elimination Fatal 4-Ways. There's usually big spots. Then the Undertaker came out, got triple power, but none of that happened.
Yeah,
so
the rumor that the Undertaker was going to interfere was out there, but
it was
I don't
clean,
know, maybe
and I kind of dug it.
Maybe he'll be on Raw tomorrow, or maybe he was just trying to catch off-Broadway version of Cats or something.
The Mets
I don't know.
game. He was at the Mets game.
Nobody goes to Mets games. So that was SummerSlam. The Board of Doom results were the Wife of Doom won again.
Yeah.
That's not getting old. And I think I had 5, you had 6. There were a bunch of us that had 6.
It was 6. He had. Oh, hold up. All right, I think it was 8 and 5.
She had 8.
It was 8 and 5. Then it was 6 and 7, 6 and 7, 6 and 7, 6 and 7 for me, Uppercut, him, and Shez. And then we had
Golden Boy had 5.
Truth both at 5.
No, Truth had 4, and Little Doom had like 3 or 4.
Shit.
So the results will be in text in a minute. I don't know. There were so many matches I can't remember it.
Yeah, so Uppercut stopped texting me during the pay-per-views and waited for the video.
Yeah, so it was one of those pay-per-views where we basically picked all kinds of wrong, except for the wife. Alright, so yeah, that was SummerSlam. It was, I would say, average to above average. Like, it was a little bit above in the middle. There were a lot of good matches. People are going to remember the Jinder Mahal Shinsuke debacle, but they ended on a pretty good note because that main event was really, really good. So.
Yeah, for a Big 4, pretty disappointing. NXT won the weekend.
Yeah, different video. We'll get to that. So, I've been Big Papa Grump.
And I've been Junior.
And we've been the Board of Doom, and we'll Catch you next time.
Top presenter out.